Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out what are you doing right in your life and what messages of encouragement does Spirit have for you. I had recently covered this topic in a pick a card on my Instagram and everybody seemed to love it. So I decided to make a video for my YouTube friends as well. So for the first group, I have this little yellow stone over here. And then this bigger yellow stone for group 2. So feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on both your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hi group 1, so for those of you who chose this little yellow stone, let's find out what are you doing right in your life. Spirit, what is group 1 doing right in their life? We have new beginnings. What is group 1 doing right in their life? Pleasure. What is group 1 doing right in their life? Power. What is group 1 doing right in their life, Spirit? And delight. Lovely. I can already tell what has happened. You guys have started prioritizing yourself, your needs now. And this isn't how you always were. This is a switch up that might have happened recently for a lot of you, because new beginnings definitely tells me that it isn't something that you had always been doing. You might have been the kind of person who was always either making sacrifices or compromises and things like that. And then it almost seems as if you had some sort of an awakening wherein you realized that nobody can ever love you as much as you can love yourself. Nobody can understand you in a way that you can understand yourself. And it is your duty towards yourself and towards your body even to look after yourself, to look after your needs, whether it is your emotional needs or whether it is any physical need of yours. So you've really started doing that now. Maybe you have a very busy schedule, but you've started taking out time for yourself, some designated me time perhaps, in which you only do things that you like. You watch your favorite shows, maybe you have a self-care routine, or just about anything. But there has been a very major shift in terms of finding what makes you happy, what makes your soul dance, and focusing your energy on it. Now, some of you over here in the past could have either been like borderline people pleasers, or you were the kind of people who were always giving their power away to other people. You know, they were making decisions on your behalf, or you were compromising way too much for them, or you were always making sacrifices for them. But now you have stepped in your power. You know where to draw a line now. I'm also hearing that a lot of you, group 1, had issues saying no to people. You know, a lot of people, I mean, you might think that it's a pretty easy thing to do, but it's actually not. A lot of people find it very difficult to say no to someone, especially on the face. And maybe there are some of you who also had the same problem, but now you have stepped into your power. You always have these clear boundaries set, and you make sure that nobody steps on those boundaries. You started saying no, you started making time for yourself, and Spirit is very proud of you for this. Very proud of you for this. And I can also tell that it wasn't an easy transformation for you. In fact, initially, you might have felt as if even you don't know who you are, you don't know yourself. But I can also guarantee that the more you stick to this new thing that you've got going, you'll fall in love with yourself even more. You'll discover yourself better. A lot of you have also recently left behind either a place or a partner or a job situation, some career thing, because it wasn't making you happy. And it could have been something that you had been doing for a very long time, but for other people's happiness. For instance, you were studying in a particular college just because everybody in your family prior to you had attended the same college, or you had to choose a particular profession for yourself just because everybody else in your family does the same thing, or your parents had asked you, you have to become a doctor, you have to become an engineer, there is no other option, things like that. And for those of you who've just left a partner, wow, you guys, you definitely, this person, what is that phrase? Bend till you break, something like that. You gave up on a lot for this person, and you were not happy. You were making sure that your partner was happy, but I don't think your partner was able to meet you halfway. So now cut to present day, you finally sat down with yourself, with your thoughts, and you realize that this is your life. You've just got one shot at it. And it is high time that you start doing things that make you happy and stop bothering about what other people will think of you, or how they might judge you, or what if they get offended by your actions or the decisions that you are making with your life. It's like you've had this lovely, lovely internal transformation, Group 1. You're not Group 1, it's like you're Group 1 2.0, like that. So you've recently started this new thing now. You've either moved to a new place, a place which perhaps ever since you're a child, you'd always wanted to visit, always wanted to travel to, or always dreamt of settling down there. So you have managed to find a very good job for yourself, maybe in this new city, new state, or new country. You've changed your career. You're now looking at courses which are more in alignment with the kind of stuff that you like to do, or you would like to see yourself doing in the future. You've also started dating now, and now that we'd already seen that you are in your power, you have all of these healthy boundaries. It's actually going to help you in your dating life as well, because you will not tolerate anybody's bullshit anymore, right? So single-handedly, you have turned your life around in an amazing manner, and Spirit is really patting your back for that. Okay, let's find out what else have you been doing right. What has Group 1 been doing right, Spirit? What has Group 1 been doing right in their life? We have Guinea Pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe. What has Group 1 been doing right in their life? Goat. Act from your innate wisdom. What has Group 1 been doing right in their life? Rabbit. Recognize your significance. What has Group 1 been doing right in their life, Spirit? Turtle, be joyful and trusting. So we have joyful over here, we had delight, we had pleasure, we have recognize your significance right underneath power. This is fantastic. So one more thing has come out over here, Group 1. A lot of you have started trusting your intuition now a lot more than you used to in the past. And Spirit appreciates that. They really like it, because as we'd already channeled from the first spread over here, that in the past, at least for a lot of you, there were other people doing all the decision making for you, right? And you were simply following the instructions. But now you have come to the understanding that you're not dumb, that you can tell what is right and what is wrong for you, or what is in your best interest and what isn't. So you are following that inner compass now. You're following your intuition now. You are becoming increasingly aware of the signs and synchronicities that you see around you. Maybe you immediately hop onto your phone and Google what they mean, or you have started paying more attention to your dreams, to the downloads that you receive and things like that. So just the fact that you are now more in tune with your higher self and with your intuition is commendable. Also, for those of you who always used to, and I'm hearing this very strongly, like dim your light to fit in. A lot of you could have been like that, molding yourself into what you thought would be appreciated best by someone else. You don't do that anymore. With do your part to illuminate the universe, I'm strongly picking up that you've started being very true to yourself. You've started becoming very authentic. And Spirit is really appreciating this quality of yours now. And one more thing, whether or not you're aware of it, but you have inspired at least 3 or 4 other people around you to follow in your footsteps, as in to take your life in your own hands, to take decisions for yourself. So it's like you haven't even realized this, but you have become that guiding light for a few people around you, which is wonderful. It's lovely how a person who until yesterday was always looking, very cluelessly at other people to tell them what has to be done, is now leading the way for other people. It's so beautiful. You also recognize your significance now. You have stepped into your power. You know who you are. You realize that you don't need to make so many compromises. You need not make so many sacrifices for someone else. You need not settle down with just about anyone. You have every right to attract people who are in alignment with you. You have every right to be in the situations or around people who can accept you for who you are and don't have any over-the-top expectations from you. Because I'm also getting this imagery of you being in school or college and always struggling to match up to your parents' expectations or your teachers' expectations. You don't do that anymore. You just don't care anymore. You've almost reached that Zen state wherein what the people around you think or say about you, you couldn't care less now. Why? Because you know who you are. It's like after all these years, you have come face to face with your true self, which is so fantastic. Also, with Be Joyful and Trusting, you started focusing more on your happiness, on your needs. You don't feel guilty about spending money on yourself, which I'm seeing is something that was a problem with a lot of you. It was very easy for you to spend money on other people, but when it came to spending your own hard-earned money on yourself, you somehow would go into a guilt trip, like, oh my God, how could I do this or how could I do that? You'd always get into this instant regret mode. But now you've realized that it's okay. It's okay to treat yourself, to splurge money on yourself. You work hard for it. You deserve it. You've also become very trusting of your own wisdom, your intuition, as well as the universe, your spirit guides, angels, your spirit team, everybody around you. You have now stopped believing in the plan that other people have for you, and you have now shifted your focus on the plan that you have in mind for yourself, which thanks to this innate wisdom of yours, is somewhat similar to, maybe not as great as, but definitely not lesser, not significantly lesser at least, than what Spirit has in store for you. So you are at the moment just going with the flow. There is so much peace over here. There's so much calm over here, so much happiness over here. This robust sense of power over here. There is no stopping you now. You are in your element, and it is fantastic. A lot of you might have strong water signs present in your chart. And I feel like throughout your childhood, expressing your emotions was something that you were either never taught how to do, or you were always reprimanded whenever you tried to do so. For instance, if you cried, you were asked to toughen up, or you were called names for that. Things like that. Things which are so toxic, because nobody should be teaching you to repress your emotions, and anything but. So now you have come to the understanding that it is okay to express my fears, it is okay to express my happiness, sadness, and anything in the gambit of emotions. And somewhere, rabbit and turtle over here, the contrast tells me that earlier it's almost as if you were in this race with so many other people around you, because there was always this constant pressure of expectations about how well you are doing versus what's going on in other people's lives. But now with the turtle over here, you know that you're going to win. You already are a winner in your eyes, in spirit's eyes. And so now you have slowed down, you've calmed down, and you're doing things at your own pace now. This is, I am feeling so calm right now channeling for you, group 1. So thank you for that. Let's take a look at your tarot cards now. Spirit, what is group 1 doing right in their life? We have the 7 of Swords. What is group 1 doing right in their life? King of Pentacles. What is group 1 doing right in their life? And Page of Pentacles. Okay. So, firstly, in the past, you guys were always seeking other people's approval, especially of those who were older than you in your family, like a father figure perhaps, or some guardian of yours, someone whom you really looked up to. Also, you had this habit of always vocalizing what you were planning to do and see what kind of a reaction would you get. And based on that, I'm hearing this very strongly. A lot of you have completely dropped your plans in the past. Think of it this way. You were very excited about something, and then your whole family, friends or relatives or whatever, you guys met for a brunch, and you put this thing out there, like I'm planning to do this or that. And everybody's reactions to it were, well, not good. And so you completely just dismissed that idea of yours. You dismissed that dream of yours as if it never was yours. Why? Because 10 other people told you that it's not good for you, so you believed them, and just like this, you gave up on that dream. Now, with the 7 of Swords, the one thing you've started doing right is that you keep... Okay, have you seen this meme? If it's going good, keep it to yourself. It makes sense. It actually makes sense. And you've started doing that now. I'm not saying that you have totally become an introvert or that you've stopped talking to people. You have stopped seeking other people's approval, stamp of approval. You have stopped discussing too much of your hopes, dreams, and plans with other people. People in general, a lot of them at least, have a tendency to ruin beautiful ideas and dreams. So you've stopped doing that now, and it is good. Spirit appreciates that. It's not easy. It's actually more difficult to keep good things to yourself because there's always this need to share it with others. But you've drawn that line now with boundaries. Also, with King of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles, it brings me back to that whole contrast of the speed that we discussed earlier with rabbit and turtle, that earlier this is where you wanted to be, and immediately skip steps and just get there because this is what is expected of you. You were expected to be the King of Pentacles, but now you've realized that even if you start out as a page, you will grow up and mature and learn from your experiences, and eventually you will get to the King of Pentacles. Vienna waits for you. That thing, you guys should listen to that song. If you haven't, it's lovely, and I think it'll really resonate with you. You know who you are now, and you know that there's no need to rush, because this person, they're just standing there. They're so grounded. There's so much calm over here because they know that there's no hurry. They know that they will become a king one day. It's okay if they're a page right now. You guys might even be having strong Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn somewhere in your charts. Okay, and now finally, to close your reading, let's take a look at some encouraging messages for you. Spirit, what messages of encouragement do you have for group 1? messages of encouragement do you have for group 1 spirit? We have Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So definitely, this is who you are now. You do not care anymore about what somebody else has to think or what somebody else has to say about you, about the life that you're living, about your dreams and about your hopes. You are who you are. Then we have hope, love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. Definitely, you have stepped into your power. You know what you're worth. You know you needn't make unnecessary compromises and sacrifices in your romantic relationships. And you will get the partner or partners that are best aligned with you. Because you know you needn't bend over backwards just to accommodate somebody else's issues. What messages of encouragement do you have for group 1? And we have Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. This is so sweet. So from this card, Spirit is saying, and we also had that innate wisdom card for you earlier, that trust the guidance that you receive. Trust that inner compass of yours. You are committed to creating the life that you want, and it has been recognized by the universe. And your spirit guides today through this reading, your spirit guides, your angels, the universe, spirit, by whatever name you want to call them, you are loved unconditionally, unconditionally. So if anybody treats you any less, you can get out of the building and you needn't look back. This is amazing, group 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading just as much as I did, channeling these lovely messages for you today. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. You can also follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings, and the details to book a personal reading with me can be found in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi group 2, so for those of you who chose this big yellow stone, let's find out what are you doing right in your life. Spirit, what is group 2 doing right in their life right now? We have patience. What is group 2 doing right in their life right now? Miracles. What is group 2 doing right in their life right now? Leadership. What is group 2 doing right in their life right now? And forgiveness. Okay. So group 2, you guys have surrendered your control issues. Maybe you guys had this need of always knowing when will something happen or how will that thing happen. But it looks like now with miracles and patience, you have surrendered all of your concerns to the universe. And they are grateful for it. They are appreciating you for it. And they've told you, yes, that was the right thing to do. Good job, group 2, that you have completely left it on me now. You don't need to worry about it anymore. There were some of you who had severe anger issues, and you guys have really worked upon yourselves. You guys have come a long way. You have improved a lot. You now have a lot of patience. You do not get triggered half as easily as you used to in the past. And that is, again, something that Spirit is appreciating you for. They really like it. And it wasn't easy is also something that I'm hearing. Because I'm hearing that it was something that was very like ingrained in you, sort of in your DNA. Like maybe some parent of yours or the community in which you grew up in, some people around you were also like that, would get triggered easily or were short-tempered. But I think the fact that this bird is flying away tells me that you came to this understanding that you don't have to become someone that you've grown up with completely. Like you do not have to be their mirror image. And I think the day you realized this, that was the turning point for you in your anger management. I don't think you liked what you saw. And I am getting this visual of at least like a few of you or one of you saw yourself in a mirror when you were angry and you did not like what you saw. Another thing that you've done right is that you have finally forgiven someone for something that they did to you, or something that they said to you, or someone close to you. It was not easy for you to forgive this individual because there were a lot of grudges that you were holding on to. There was a lot of resistance. You had a lot of anger towards them. But you realized that if you have to go forward in your life, and if you do not forgive the people from your past, they will not leave you. They will come with you into the future as well. You are basically just tagging them along, increasing your weight. So you forgive that person, or you forgive those people. And maybe this message of, forgive someone is something that was coming up for you lately a lot, in a lot of readings. So you've finally done that. Now, forgiveness with leadership over here is telling me that some of you have legit, like face-to-face, forgiven this individual or messaged them. But there could have also been some of you who did not directly communicate this forgiveness of yours to the person concerned, but you just put it out there in the universe, like, I forgive this person for what they did to me or for what they said to me. It's okay. I'm over it now. Something along those lines. It worked just fine though. There is one more shift that has occurred in you, group 2. You have stopped waiting for something that you want to happen or to be initiated by somebody else, and you have now become this leader of your own life, and now you know what you want and you go after it yourself. You don't sit around and wait anymore. And this can be the simplest of things. For example, some new restaurant has opened and you wanted to try it out, and you had been asking your friends for a very long time to come and give you company. Let's plan, let's go there. They were either very busy, or they were never really interested. Okay, so firstly, whatever changes you are going through, they're all nothing short of a miracle, and a lot of people have complimented you for it. A lot of people might have complimented you recently for your anger management. A lot of people might have complimented you for your newfound leadership skills. A lot of people have also complimented you or congratulated you or shown their appreciation or their support in you finally having moved on from something of your past, right? Anyway, now coming back to my example, you came to this understanding that you do not need anybody else to give you company in something that you are looking to seek pleasure from, right? So you decided to go and check out that restaurant all by yourself, and you went there, you had a meal all by yourself, and it did not go half as bad as you thought it would. You liked your own company. You liked spending time with yourself. You liked the food that you had, and you were happy that you did not waste any more minute in trying this thing out. If you can watch a movie all by yourself, and if you can go and have a meal all by yourself, there is nothing that you cannot do, trust me. So you have finally unlocked that achievement, and Spirit is patting your back for it, group 2. One more thing. Spirit wants to tell you that the fact that you have given up on your control issues and this need to always know what's going to happen next, they are going to reward you for it. They are so happy with this change that you have brought about in yourself. They are going to reward you for this in a miraculous way. Why? Because now you have given them that liberty to bring this miracle in your life. This was the right thing to do. Surrendering was the right thing to do. And they're giving you just a sneak peek right now into the future, that some miracle is going to occur in your life very soon, all because you finally surrendered and made peace with your present and stopped worrying so much about your future. Okay, let's see what else have you been doing right, group 2. What has group 2 been doing right in their life right now? We have big maintain self-worth and self-esteem. What has group 2 been doing right in their life right now? Horse, care for others and let them be free. What has group 2 been doing right in their life right now, Spirit? Panda, stay balanced and in your essence. What has group 2 been doing right in their life right now, Spirit? And Raven, prepare for change. Ooh, this is exciting. Spirit is asking you to prepare for some miraculous change that is about to occur in your life, group 2. Okay. You don't compromise with your self-esteem anymore. And somewhere this bird flying away and then the leadership card over here was giving me an additional message that a lot of you have left behind some sort of situation which had become very, very dominating and very controlling. So this could have been a controlling boss at your workplace who was absolutely not giving you any autonomy, any space to breathe, any space to execute your own ideas. In fact, it's also possible that they might have been hogging all the credit for the work that you were doing. So you realize that, I cannot continue staying backstage when actually I am the person who deserves to be under the spotlight because I did this whole thing. So you walked out of that job or that career situation because your self-esteem and your self-worth is important to you. And in the past, you might have compromised it on a lot, but you have stopped doing that now, which is good. And that is something that Spirit is appreciating. Also, the whole surrendering thing and the whole need of controlling thing. Now, apparently with horse over here, it wasn't just things that you always wanted to be in control. Maybe some of you, whether you admit it or not, were either consciously or subconsciously controlling the people that are important to you as well. This could have been out of a need to always look out for them. You were scared for them, you were scared about their safety. You always wanted to be with them, protect them, care for them. But you weren't realizing that it was becoming slightly suffocating. Or it seemed as if you were always breathing down their necks, even though that might not have been your intention, right? So surrendering the need to control things went hand in hand with surrendering the need to always know what someone's doing or where someone's at. You understood that you don't always have to be with someone to show your care for them. You can care for people from a distance as well. Parents don't stop caring for their child if they go very far away to study, right? So somewhat like that, just an example. But you gave the people whom you love that space to breathe, that space to just be themselves and be what they want to be or do what they want to do. You gave them that freedom. I'm also hearing that a lot of you grew up in very, very strict households. In fact, one of your parents might have been someone who suffered from anger issues, which you inadvertently inherited, right? You've worked upon those, which is good. But the whole strict parenting dynamic or attitude might have also been something that you picked up from there. But now you have let go of that, which again is great. You, just like group 1, are now staying true to who you are. You're staying in your essence, and you have finally found the perfect balance between your mind and your heart. It could have been a very haphazard thing for you in the past. Sometimes you were very emotional, sometimes you were very practical, sometimes you were always thinking from your heart, and other times you were always using your mind. But now you have created this beautiful amalgamation of them both. Now you know just how much of brains need to be used and just how much of your emotions do you need to use while making any decision, which is good. And it wasn't easy for you to come to this point either, because I'm seeing that your emotional, there could have been many fluctuations. You often experience fluctuations in your emotions. So it wasn't easy to attain that balance, but you did, which is, again, it is commendable. You also could have been the kind of person who hated getting out of their comfort zone. You could have been the kind of person who did not like trying out new things, new experiences. You were the kind of person who used to be very afraid of change. In fact, And especially for those of you for whom the whole forgiveness thing was about someone who had romantically hurt you in some way, I think the reason why you were finding it so difficult to forgive that person is because that grudge was somewhere keeping that person close to you or a part of your life, right? And even the idea of now investing your time and energy and emotions into a new person or putting yourself out there again and dating again could have sounded very scary to you. But you worked upon that fear of yours, you embraced change, you realized that that individual is not a part of my life anymore. I am not who I used to be, they are not who they used to be. I need to leave them where they belong, that is in the past, and for that I need to forgive them. And so you did. And now you might have started dating again, you might have found very good partners, in fact, since then. So the fact that you don't stay holed up anymore. Allergic rhinitis is such a drag. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, the fact that you embrace change now is also something that you are finally doing right, and Spirit is really admiring you for it. For this group, the underlying message that I'm hearing time and time and again is that all of these things did not come naturally to you, and they sure as hell were not easy for you to do. But you still managed to push yourself through and do all of these things. And that is, I think, is what's making Spirit all the more proud of you. Because you did not give up in the face of adversity. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. Spirit, what has group 2 been doing right in their life? We have the Star. What has group 2 been doing right in their life? Spirit? What has group 2 been doing right in their life? Knight of Wands. What has group 2 been doing right in their life? Spirit? 2 of Pentacles. The one thing that you have started doing of late, which you did not do so much earlier, is hoping against hope that everything will be all right. In the past, you did not believe in magic, you did not believe in miracles. You could have been one of those people who just were always trying to, what is that word? Debunk everything. I think it's debunk, right? Okay, that is what you would always try to do, but you don't anymore. You have created this beautiful connection between you and between the universe. You've started believing in them. You've started believing in signs and synchronicities, angels, angel numbers, your own intuition, your wisdom. And you have this newfound sense of freedom, you have this newfound sense of hope that everything is going to be all right. Where I came from is not going to define where I am going to go. Who I used to be is not going to define who I will end up as. And maybe there was a point in your life, group 2, where you thought that your world was going to collapse. You thought that there was no hope left. You thought that nothing could ever be right again. And that could have been the catalyst that brought about all of this transformation in you. And look at where you are now. I'm sure if you look back, you'll be super, super proud of you. So this hope that you have now in your eyes, the fact that you never give up on things anymore, the fact that you don't stop believing, that's what you're doing right. And it is needed. Sometimes the only thing that can get you through a difficult situation is hope. So don't let go of this string at all. The other thing that you're doing right now with the Knight of Wands is that you have stepped out of your comfort zone. You've started dating again. You've started meeting new people. You're not hung up on that individual anymore. And I'm also picking up on this sense of freedom, from the Knight of Wands, that I'll wear whatever I want to, I'll dress however I want to, I'll go wherever I want to, I'll sing, I'll dance, even though I do not know how to sing, I do not know how to dance. I absolutely don't care what anybody thinks when they see me. Why? Because I like it. I like dancing. I don't care if I have left feet. I'm going to dance my heart out. In fact, this Knight of Wands' energy seems very solitary as well. So the fact that you have started, what's that phrase? You are your own source of happiness now. You are looking for happiness within yourself instead of seeking happiness outside of yourself. This again is a major transformation that you've undergone. And this is the right thing to do. You should not rely on anybody else to make you happy, right? You should be responsible for your own happiness. A person who cannot be happy, who is not happy with themselves, cannot ever be happy with anybody else, right? You've realized this. You know how to make yourself happy. You have started spending more time doing things that make you happy. Other people's words, opinions, whether somebody is there to give you company or not, these things, they just do not bother you anymore. You're perfectly fine all by yourself. And that is good. This also brings me back to the leadership card, that you don't sit around and wait for other people to come and join you when you want to do something. You just go for it all by yourself, which again is fantastic. And Two of Pentacles over here tells me that you have finally, again, bring me back to Panda over here, that you've created this beautiful symphony, sort of, this beautiful harmony between your head and your heart, which is lovely. Also, perhaps in the past, you were the kind of person who would always make very rash decisions, or someone who used to be very impulsive. But now you plan things ahead, even if it is just a little bit ahead, but you do plan out things now. You never jump to conclusions. You never make any rash decisions. You always look at the pros and cons of everything before deciding what you need to do or what you have to do, whether it is a small decision or whether it is a big decision. And again, that is the right thing to do, and you're finally doing that now, which is why Spirit is appreciating you for it. Okay, now to close your reading, let us look at some encouraging words for you from Spirit. Spirit, what encouraging messages do you have for Group 2? Serenus, life force, express your driving passion, sensual and sexual powers are increased. What encouraging message do you have for Group 2, Spirit? Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. What encouraging message do you have for Group 2, Spirit? Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. Guys, every time I pause, I sneeze my eyes out. Anyway, I'm not surprised that Spirit has sent the life force message for you, because there were places where I was picking up on this whole self-sex is the best sex energy, and the same message has come out now. With sensual and sexual powers are increased, and I guess I will use that word over here, masturbation, okay, feeling yourself, touching yourself, pleasure, giving yourself pleasure. Not relying on anybody else to do that for you. You're doing that now, and that is okay. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, this being a message of encouragement, this is like a green light from Spirit. You do you. You do what makes you happy. With leadership and now teacher awakens, there can be something that you're very good at, and it does not necessarily have to be something creative. It can be anything. Maybe you've learned from your life's experiences, and there are other people out there suffering at the moment, just like how you used to in the past. So the knowledge that you have acquired over the years, you can help relay this information to them, and maybe it can make things easier for them, right? And you can do this. Maybe a lot of you are planning to write a book on your life so far. A lot of you are planning to start some podcast or something. So you should totally go ahead and do that. Trust your inner wisdom. Do not let anyone or anybody tell you otherwise. And most importantly, recognize that you have the power. Nobody can tell you that how could you do this or how could you do that, or you are wrong. But this isn't how it was supposed to be done. This is what you should have done. No. Enough of half-assing things for people who did not mean shit to you. Enough of giving away your power to others who did not deserve it. Enough of it. You are, honestly, there is someone in your life at the moment. There used to be someone in your life at the moment, actually, and you took yourself out of that situation. You forgave them for what they put you through. You're past it now. I think through this card, Spirit is saying that honestly, Group 2, you're better off without them. And you've realized this. If you haven't 100% realized this, you soon will. But if you were having second doubts or second thoughts about whether or not you should have left that person, maybe because you had been with them for a very long time or worked in that company for a very long time, it's okay. You did not make the wrong decision. It was the right thing to do. It was important for you. It was important for your holistic development. Okay, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, Group 2. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, you can follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings. The link is in description. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you'll find all those details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.